Across the board, women continue to earn less than men. White women make about 80 cents to a man's dollar. Black women earn 66 cents. Native women and Latinas just 58 cents. And Asian American women, though often reported higher earnings, still face wide pay gaps depending on ethnicity and industry. The numbers tell a story about the urgent need for change. I'm Julene Allen, and this is Conversations for Equal Pay, where we talk with leaders, innovators, and change makers about closing the gap and uplifting women of color in the workplace. You're listening to Conversations for Equal Pay.
We're talking to Jennifer King, a true pioneer in the world of football. As the first Black woman to become a full-time NFL coach, she has shattered a major glass ceiling and continues to inspire a new generation of coaches and players. Her journey is a testament to perseverance, skill, and an unwavering passion for the game. So, Jennifer, as the first Black woman to become a full time NFL coach, you've broken a major barrier. What was the most significant challenge you faced on that journey, and what did it teach you?
I think the biggest thing was, just taking that first step, that ultimately led to all of this. So I was coaching college basketball. I was a head coach and things were going well. We won a national championship. And ultimately I made a decision to walk away to go into football full time. And obviously that wasn't an easy decision to make, but to take that first step, I think was the biggest part of the journey that I started on in football to really just have that faith in myself to be able to do it and not be afraid, essentially. And was able to do that. And ultimately, through a lot of years of work, it led me to, breaking down that barrier. But a lot of people helped me along the way, and I learned a lot along the way. And, it's a cool moment. I wish the story was better when it happened, but it really was pretty anti-dramatic. But I think it's a really it's a great honor, and somebody had to do it. So I'm just happy it was me.
Yeah, I saw that you played basketball in college. You played also semi-pro football. So you were familiar with the uh, football territory prior to becoming a coach for football.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been around football since I was like 5 years old. So I was able to play for 13 seasons, and football's always kind of been there. So that's why it was exciting to get the opportunity to coach for the first time.
So beyond the headlines, what does a typical day as a full-time coach look like for you?
it's long days, in season, and obviously been in the league the past 5 years, and in college this season, and very similar schedules. I mean, we're working, 14, 15 hour days, in preparation. There's a lot that goes into a game plan, a lot that goes into breaking down an opponent to hopefully be in a good position to call the right things and to put your players in a good position to be successful on game day. So early morning meetings, and we kind of go from there. So it's a lot of game planning going on. Obviously, there's practice, the players are lifting, then there's more meetings, and then we have post-practice meetings as well. So usually, right now, I'm usually in around 6:30 or 7, and usually out around 9:30 or 10. So that's kind of where we are right now.
I think people underestimate how much hard work it takes uh, to do what you do, and you just demonstrated that it takes a lot of work. Who were your key mentors and supporters who helped you get to where you are today?
I think my first ones were obviously my parents, just kind of creating that foundation for me as a child growing up. They're always supportive. They allowed me to try new things as a kid and do things which I think built the confidence as an adult that I can do new things and try new things. And then, once I got into the professional world, so many people helped me. When I first started in basketball, my first head coach there, Jason Tuggle, he kind of showed me how to lead a team, how to be a player's coach, but still be a great coach as well. And then as I moved into football, Sam Rappaport, who's with the NFL at that time, Scott Pioli, he's helped me a bunch. He still helps me to this day. And I said it was so many people that helped me along the way through different parts and different sections. And obviously, I'm blessed to be able to have those people in my life that I can always lean on and ask questions when I need to.
I think a lot of people don't realize that your first mentors are your parents, and they add tremendous value to our journey. So those are our first mentors that really support us along the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they're still there to this day, man. They're proud of the things I've been able to accomplish.
So your work is groundbreaking. How has your experience as a female coach in NFL and college shaped your perspective on pay equity and fair compensation for women in male-dominated industries?
Oh man, I mean it's much needed. I think, entering a field that, not a lot of women have been involved in, I think it's even more important because there's not a lot of things to look at. So, I was fortunate enough to get an agent and, she makes sure everything is good and looks over everything for me. But, kind of, when you're in this position, pretty much everything you do is the first. So you kind of laying the groundwork for a lot of people behind you. So I'm definitely thankful for her and people that have helped me along the way. But I think the teams that I've been involved with, they've been, more than fair as well in the compensation. So I'm definitely thankful for that we haven't had to have a lot of battles for those equal pay opportunities.
And kudos to the male to the men in your life that have supported you along the way. Because research say that men are less likely to support women.
Mm.
So kudos to the men that have shaped your journey, which has led to possibly your ability to be paid fairly.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many guys that have helped, and even the guys that I've just worked with. I mean, they're all great dudes, and the players are great guys. So it's definitely they made a lot of this easier. And I know maybe that's not everybody's story, but it's been my story, and I'm definitely thankful for it.
Yeah. So, Jennifer, what advice would you give to a young woman of color who is aspiring to enter a field where she doesn't see herself represented?
It's gonna take tough skin. You might get, or it's not going to be smooth, and even it's going to be maybe a lot of detours along the way or things that you weren't expecting. But I think it's important to have that mindset that it's something that you really want to do. And ultimately with me, it was like it's okay if I'm the first. I didn't see anyone that really looked like me doing it, but it was okay that I could do it. But I think that comes with the confidence that I built as a kid. So know what you want to do. Know it's not going to be easy. Use those no's to propel you. And always remember all doors that are closed aren't locked. So
Yeah,
sometimes you just gotta knock.
I hear that. And hearing what you just stated, hopefully will push someone to push forward on their journey. So
Hope
what
so.
so what is your vision for the future of women in professional sports?
I mean, I think now is as great a time as ever for women in sports and women in professional sports. And it was kind of funny when I was in Chicago with the Bears. The NFL requires teams to have women's locker rooms on game day. And when I first started in Washington or even Carolina, they would have the women's locker room and it would usually just be me or maybe a trainer. And then I get to Chicago and the locker room's full. Like it's like a normal locker room. It's people everywhere. I think that this shows the growth even over those few years of women doing really cool things in pro sports. And We had a strength coach and then a bunch of trainers and people on the business side. Some of those people are doing great things as well. And that's one of those things I think it's important to realize there's so much more to sport than just what you see coaching. There's some really cool things behind the scenes that it kind of makes everything work. And, it's truly a business. So anything that a normal business would have, most sports teams have as well.
Well, I am a Chicagoan and I'm a big Bears fan. So just to let you know, it's too bad you're not on the team anymore, but you've moved on and you're in North Carolina. But yes, I'm a big Chicago Bears fan. So you were saying that the Chicago Bears is doing great things for women in sports?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kevin Warren, the McCaskey family, I think they're just committed to getting the best people in the building, no matter who they are. So I think that's awesome.
That is awesome. So, Jennifer, how can we as allies and advocates best support women of color who are working to break barriers in their respective fields?
Be there for them, be a voice sometimes that they need to hear, sometimes be an ear to what they have going on and just support each other. I think that's the main thing is some of my other friends that coach as well, like I feel like I'm their biggest fan sometimes. Like I'm pulling for them to do well. It's not about a race or a competition between us because everybody can win, so there's no need to have that mindset. But I just go with that love and support route, and I love it. And it's the same for me from them as well. We hype each other up, and I think it's really cool to see, and I think everybody should be like that.
I agree. And you you made a valid point. There are resources out here for everybody. There is plenty of room for everybody. And I appreciate that mindset. And hopefully it will inspire others. So, Jennifer, that's all the questions I have for now. Thank you for joining me. It's been an honor.
Thank you. This is my pleasure.
That's it for this episode of Conversations for Equal Pay. To tune into more episodes, log on to our website at conversationsforequalpay.org. You're listening to Conversations for Equal Pay.